Every golfer wants that breakthrough moment, the swing that finally clicks, the shot that feels perfect. But what if you could measure, analyze, and perfect every shot you take? In today's Beyond the Basics, we'll dive into how the revolutionary Approach R50 premium golf launch monitor and simulator unlocks your potential with precision metrics and advanced features, all viewed on a high-resolution touchscreen display, helping you make smarter adjustments and take your game to the next level. Approach R50 is the first portable golf launch monitor with a built-in simulator. Let's dive in and see what this powerhouse can do for you. Once you've powered on your Approach R50 and logged into your Garmin Golf account, you'll be presented with a screen that looks like this, with three options for practice, play, or connect. And we'll get into a little bit more detail for each of these. For the purpose of today's session, we're going to look at a past practice session. So we'll go into the one session here. All right, as that session loads up, on the left side of the screen here, you notice a list of shots. And these currently are grouped by club, but you do have the option to not group by club. And now you can see each shot individually. A cool feature here is that if there are shots that you know you didn't hit well, for example, this one here, maybe I want to make a note that I didn't hit this poorly. Maybe I topped this shot. And I want to make sure when I'm looking back through data, I know that that shot has an extra note. I can see that it was disliked there. I could add thumbs up for positive notes as well. I hit that one well, something like that. It's just kind of a neat tool as you're hitting a lot of shots and you may forget exactly what happened for each one. You can historically reference what happened. On the right side here, you see each of the ball and club metrics. So the Approach R50 with 3 high-speed precision cameras captures over 15 ball and club metrics. Each one provides detailed information. And as you can see here, you have the actual club speed, launch direction, various metrics, and then the smaller numbers to the left and right below that are the actual average for that shot, and then the dispersion for your average. I want to get into a little bit of the customization you can do with the screen. So right now we're looking at the Approach R50 display, and there's a lot of options for configuring this display. That's something that makes Approach R50 really unique, is that you can see something on the R50, and if you're connected to a projector or maybe an external display, you can see different things on the R50 versus that external display. So first we'll start with customizing the Approach R50 display. We can do a split screen here. In each one of these split screens, you have the option to see different metrics. So on the left side here, we're going to stick with the data fields that we currently are seeing. So we'll click that and exit out. On the right side though, let's say we want to see a ball impact. So this is a nice graphical view of each shot. And if I click done here, now I can see these data fields on the left side, and on the right side, you can see a little bit more graphical view. This is especially helpful for kind of visualizing club data, things like club path, face to path, that are becoming much more popular metrics to keep track of. You can actually make this a full screen if you really wanted to have a little more data fields visible. But then again, there's other options here. So now I have this split screen taking up the full display. I can actually go back and say I wanted to see an impact of that swing. So I can click Impact Video, click Done. And now I got my metrics on the left side, and on the right side, I'm seeing an actual impact video of the club striking the ball. So this is especially useful if you're curious, if you're hitting the ball high in the face. Maybe you think you shanked one and you want to see exactly what happened there. There's lots of use cases that this can be used for. And then a note on the left side here, all of these metrics are customizable. So if I didn't want to see ball speed there, but I was more curious about side spin, I click side spin, and now that is the top left metric. So in this case, I'm showing 8 different ball metrics. If I would go full screen, I could see basically all of the metrics that I would be looking at. So that kind of gets into the basics of all the things that you can do with the Approach R50 display. But like I said earlier, you can also customize what you're seeing on the projector. So if I were to click external display, now currently we're seeing a map that shows the last shot, the shape of the shot, and some of the metrics. But I could also see data fields up there if I wanted to see the ball impact or the impact video. All of those things are options. I also have the option to mirror my Approach R50 display. So if I wanted to see the same thing on the R50 as I'm seeing on that external display or projector, that's an option as well, just to keep things more simple. I think that's a great starting point with all the customizable options in the practice mode for Approach R50. Now let's go back and look at an actual practice session to see some of the more customizing that you can do. I'm going to end this session, even though this was a past session, and I'll click on Practice. So from here, there are 4 driving range mode options: the Distance Range, Crooked Creek, Green Valley, and Palm Island. For this purpose, we'll use Distance Range today. So when you get into a driving range mode session, you have the option for tracking ball and club data. This is something that's unique with Approach R50. For those who previously had Approach R10 launch monitors, that uses a radar system. So if you wanted more accurate spin rate metrics, things like that, you had to use special golf balls to get those metrics. With Approach R50, this uses a camera-based system, so those special golf balls are not needed. Anything that you have in your bag, if you go to the range, driving range balls should work great for that too. But you do want to make sure if you're going to get accurate club data that you have ball and club data selected. And then you'll also need to put club tracking stickers on your club to make sure those are accurately picked up. Target alignment we'll discuss a little bit more when we talk through the outdoor setup. For now, 0 degrees default is great. You can also set up your ball flight conditions. This generally defaults to your current location, but if you are going somewhere, or say you live at sea level and you're going to a place where you're going to play soon at altitude, you can adjust your elevation with a simple toggle. You'll see the golf ball going further when you do that. You can also adjust humidity and temperature. So quite a bit of customization even before you get into a session. If you were to start that session, you can now select your club. So these clubs were predetermined based on what you've input into the Garmin Golf app, but you can also add clubs. Say you buy some new clubs and no longer have a 3 hybrid and now you have a 3 iron. You can change that as you go. So for this session, let's say I was going to start out with my 7 iron. There's no data on here because no swing has been taken yet, but if I were to change clubs before I even go, I could click here again, select 6 iron, and make sure that each shot is accurately tracked with that specific club being used. Approach R50 comes with 250 included club tracking stickers to help you get accurate club tracking metrics. The easiest way to install these is to find the bottom of the center of the club, go up from there, and then place 1 sticker near the top of the club. You don't want to put it right towards the top, but just slightly below the top will make sure you have the most accurate club metrics you can get. Again, this works from every club from driver down to lob wedge to provide those accurate club tracking metrics. While in a practice session, there's also a convenient indicator light that shows you whether or not your golf ball is in the hitting zone. The diagram on the screen tells you when you're ready to hit, and the light at the bottom of the display goes from red to green. Let's go back to that previous session to show the session summary and how this can be exported. So we'll end this current session, get back into our previous session. You can actually view a session summary that shows all of the shots you previously hit. Currently this is showing all of the shots individually, but you could also group by club. If we get back to seeing all the shots, if there were a few shots that you wanted to exclude or you wanted to see data for those specific shots, you could select multiple shots. And now you can see the average ball speed, launch angle, whatever metric you wanted for just those specific shots along here at the bottom. So that kind of helps. If you know that there were a few shots that you hit better than the rest and you wanted to see the metrics for well-struck shots, you can really customize the view there for what you're looking for. Once you've completed a range session in the Approach R50 from the practice mode, once that session has been saved, it syncs with the Garmin Golf app on your compatible smartphone. And then you can go into past sessions and export those as CSV files. That might be useful if you have a golf pro that you're working with frequently, maybe a high school or college coach, or anyone else that you just want to share those previous range sessions with. If we get back to our home screen, we're now going to view the play mode. So this gives you options for Home Tee Hero, which is available with the Garmin Golf membership. You can choose from over 40,000 courses worldwide. And let's dive in here. So a unique feature of Home Tee Hero, again, over 40,000 courses. So this gives you the option to not only play your home course that you play all the time, if you're going on a buddy's trip soon, playing a course you've never played before, you have the option to play that. Or you can find some bucket list courses that you've always wanted to play that you can now play from the comfort of your home. So upcoming, I'm playing a course called Shadow Glen. So let's see how that looks. So to start off, I can see myself on the list, or if I want to add other golfers, I can do that as well. So these were preloaded already, but I could add others. We'll just start with one player right now. From there, you get to choose the tees that you want to play. It automatically defaults you to the back tees, but obviously there's lots of options here on this course. It would vary depending on the course. So you should match up with what you would actually see on the golf course. in real life. So if I hit next, now there's a few more options. So new with Approach R50 that was not an option on Approach R10 is the ability to putt during simulator play. So I'll toggle on the putting option here, and it gives me the choice for a gimme distance. So if you don't want to be putting from 3 feet on every hole, you can set that gimme distance to whatever you'd like. Let's say you want to do 8 feet for this round. I can save that, and I can also toggle the green speed. So if you know this course has fast greens, you can crank that up. Maybe it's been raining a lot and you want to play on slow greens, you can try that as well. And then from there, similar to the practice mode, you have ball flight conditions. Again, this will default to your current location or whatever you previously put in. We'll leave these as is now, but you obviously have options to change elevation, relative humidity, temperature, and wind. Again, we want to be capturing ball and club data here, just making sure we have those club tracking stickers on our clubs for club data. And I can also toggle on in-game sounds. So we'll leave those on for now and we'll start playing. So as you load up the course, you'll get a nice flyover of the hole. So you get a plan for the shot ahead. The first hole here at Shadow Glen is a par 4. On the left side of the screen, you can see your name as well as the shot that you were taking. So in this case, you're seeing the number 1 for that. You're also seeing the distance to the front, middle, and back of the green. If I were to click this flag icon here, it'll give me an overhead view of the hole. This is useful if you're changing clubs or you want to aim for a different spot based on how far you think you'll hit the current club you're hitting. So I can move this around here. Say I wanted, currently it's probably projected for me to hit some sort of hybrid or a long iron. But if I wanted to be aggressive and hit a driver, I could aim up here further, closer to the green. And that would automatically adjust your line on the hole. I click back on the golfer icon, and now that new target line I set up is the target. On the top right, we configured those settings in the beginning for wind, but you're seeing 2 miles an hour coming off the right. Let's get into a few more of the customizable settings that you have while in Home T Hero. Click the bottom left hamburger icon here, and if I were to click on external display, currently I'm mirroring the R50 display. So what we're seeing on the Approach R50 is the same thing we're seeing on the projector. If I were to turn that off and get back into gameplay, I now see that overhead view of the hole, as well as all the different club and ball metrics on the right side of the screen. Again, this is customizable. It's pretty useful because most of the time you will be messing with the alignment on the left side to make sure you're aiming at the proper place. So again, I can change that if I want to line up towards the bunker here with a shorter club. And then again, I can also configure what I'm seeing on the right side. So if I wanted to see an impact video of every shot, I click impact video, get back out, and once I take a swing, I would then see that impact video on the right side. I could also see ball impact, which would give more of a graphical view of each shot. So again, haven't hit a shot here yet, so you're not seeing any data, but once a swing is made, you would see that. So then a few more settings on the left side. If I go into round settings, I can go back and configure some of those settings that I made before getting into Home T Hero. So if I wanted to change the gimme distance as I go, change the green speed, maybe it's too fast or too slow, or maybe you set up the wind to be really strong before your round, you can actually turn that up or down as you go. For those who are familiar with Home T Hero and Approach R10, you'll notice that the graphics on Approach R50 have been enhanced. You can see more detail with trees. You can see adjacent holes to the one you're currently playing. I noticed in Approach R10 it had a little bit more of an island look to it, but now you can see a little bit more view of the whole entire course. We're showing Approach R50 here in an indoor setup, but if you were to take Approach R50 to the range, it's a nice tool to use before the round. Some people are looking for a more organized range session before they get out on the course, and you can actually play the course you're about to play that day in a Home T Hero session right before your actual round on the course. So that covers the Beyond the Basics for Home T Hero. Now let's get back into our main home screen, ending the round, and we'll go from the play mode over to Connect. This shows all of the third-party options available with Approach R50. Some of these may be familiar for those who have used Approach R10 in the past. E6 Apex is E6 Connect's upgraded software that shows more realistic graphics. Awesome Golf is great for those with young golfers getting into the game. There's some fun games, a driving range mode that many like. E6 Connect has lots of high-quality graphics and courses to choose from. And GS Pro is a new partner with, again, very, very high visual quality graphics. Going back to the main menu, also under Play, again, we have Home T Hero, but the other option here is Weekly Tournament. So this would be Home Tee Hero graphics, but it allows you to play tournaments that the pros are playing each week. So you can actually compete against other golfers on the same course and have a very realistic, fun experience. Approach R50 is great for indoor use, but it's also great for outdoor use. I'll show you a few tips here to make sure that your outdoor use on the driving range is as accurate as possible. If we get into the practice and then the distance range, we'll click on target alignment. This helps make sure that if you are on a driving range and trying to aim at targets that are not maybe directly in front of you, you have the most accurate line of sight and your metrics are as accurate as possible. What I'm showing here is using an alignment stick, but you could also use a golf club. So you can see the stick here is at a 10.3 angle. That is not allowed by Approach R50. You must be within 10 degrees. So if I shift this slightly, so this is essentially be me aiming about 5 degrees left of the target that Approach R50 is lined up at. You can see that I have a green light, which means things are good to go. Click Save, start my session, select my club. Once I get one ball in play in the hitting zone, I'm now good to hit. So any shot that I hit straight will automatically adjust about 5 degrees to the left based on the target alignment that I set up previously. Once I'm in a practice session, if throughout the range maybe I've made a bunch of divots on the ground and I need to move slightly my target angle, or I've selected a different club and I want to aim further down the range that's at a slightly different angle, I can actually adjust that target alignment. By clicking the hamburger menu here on the left, I can click target alignment and again go through the same process. I can aim further to the right, get 2 balls into play. Now I'm aiming 6 degrees to the right, save it, and I'm good to go again. Thanks for joining me today for Beyond the Basics of Approach R50, the first portable golf launch monitor with a built-in simulator. For more information on Approach R50 and our other golf devices, visit Garmin.com.